Yo, guys, how's it going? Hair looks like pretty bad tonight, but whatever. It's whatevs. Anyhow, we're making a video. Jimmy Garoppolo and Zach Wilson. I'll talk about the two guys, the two quarterbacks. So the thing is with Jimmy Garoppolo is like, I was Jimmy Garoppolo's biggest fan about 3 years ago. I love being early on predicting whether a guy's going to be very successful in pro sports, specifically the quarterback position. And Garoppolo, he came in. I followed every single snap of him with the Patriots. And then I still remember how well he played in the Bears game, how he went down to Houston and won, how he tore up the AFC South, how he tore up the Tennessee Titans at home. And then against that Jags team that made the AFC Championship, Garoppolo threw for 430 yards. Then Jimmy G the following year, I believe he went 1-1 against the Lions. He beat them. Against the Vikings, he lost. And then they were down big in Kansas City. He tore his ACL in week 3. And then last year, Garoppolo and the 49ers changed it around. I thought that he looked all right last year, played well against Pittsburgh, played well against the Rams a couple of times, and pretty much utilized George Kittle and had a pretty decent season. Really a couple of very, very good games. But now Jimmy Garoppolo, he had 1 year where he missed every game, and this year's been an abject failure. You could point to the coronavirus, but in the Super Bowl in the fourth quarter, he didn't get the job done with the game-winning drive. And your best trait is availability, or the most important trait that a guy could have is availability. And Jimmy Garoppolo flat out just gets injured too much. He missed 16 games, or he missed 13 games with the torn ACL. He missed time in New England. And now Jimmy Garoppolo, all throughout the season, he's been out of the lineup for half of the season. And then when he's been playing, he gets pulled, whether it's the Seattle game, the Miami game, he was downright awful. And you look at Garoppolo, and he had one tremendous season out of the 3 years that he was in San Francisco. He had one great season. The other season with 5 games, he was spectacular. And I'm not hating on Garoppolo. I think if Garoppolo was healthy, there would be a chance he'd be very good. The apex of Jimmy G at his best is like Drew Brees or Tua Tagovailoa. But Tua specifically just has more mobility than Garoppolo. And you look at Jimmy, and he can't really run that well. And the NFL has shifted in the last 3 years to really putting a premium on quarterbacks that can extend a play outside of the pocket. And looking at the quarterback draft, there is a very specific quarterback that is probably an upgrade over Jimmy Garoppolo. Trevor Lawrence is not going to be there for the 49ers to draft. You look at Justin Fields as a quarterback. I think that the quarterback, though, that is perfect is Zach Wilson. Zach Wilson out of BYU is a perfect quarterback for Shanahan because Zach is mobile, throws tons of screens, can throw from different platforms, and is accurate. He doesn't have that big of an arm, but neither does Jimmy Garoppolo. Wilson can only throw the ball about 40 yards. Zach Wilson is a mid-round, first-round pick. And again, if you're going to roll the dice with Jimmy G again, you're going to owe him a lot of money. And then Jimmy G could just end up getting hurt again. This is kind of like Drew Brees with the Chargers. Garoppolo's a tough quarterback. He's the leader. He's won a ton of games. He's a winning quarterback. He's accurate. He used to be able to throw the ball in the tight windows. He doesn't really show that confidence really anymore. And in San Francisco, it's a very tough market. You know, it's similar to Denver. It's similar to Philly. It's a what have you done for me lately league, but specifically that market. And you guys are obviously out on Jimmy Garoppolo. But for me, it's just the guy gets hurt too much. And I'm a huge Garoppolo fan. I think that Jimmy G played well against the Patriots, and I always thought Jimmy G has been very good. The guy gets injured, but yeah, he's not pushing the ball down the field. His arm strength is diminishing. He will make some bad interceptions. He's not driving the football. He has zero mobility whatsoever. And Garoppolo when Garoppolo was good, he had great mobility, great flexibility in the pocket. He was unafraid to make tight window throws down the field, 15 yards and in. He was automatic. And Jimmy G would hit the intermediate throws, and he would put an offense on his back. And the media maybe have got to him a little bit. I think a lot of people are jealous of Garoppolo. Everybody in the media wants to make like a splashy headline, but the point is about Jimmy, it's like Jimmy's not playing that much. He's always getting injured, and Zach Wilson is a very good quarterback, and there's always more quarterbacks in the draft, and Wilson is just as fast as Jimmy. I don't know about his leadership. I think that Wilson has decent accuracy, especially to the outside. He shows good touch with the football. He's taller than Garoppolo, even though he plays like he's about 5'11", but he's so fast. He's so good in play action. He's a perfect fit. If you're going to bring up Trey Lance or Justin Fields or Kyle Trask, these are riskier quarterbacks, specifically Trey Lance. Trey Lance is not a Shanahan quarterback because Trey Lance is mobile, but Trey Lance is a guy who'll throw. He's a run and shoot quarterback. He'll throw the ball deep. Zach Wilson is more accurate in the screen game, whereas Trey Lance is a guy that's lethal down the field. He's good in a Jason Garrett-style offense. I think Kyle Trask is a very good quarterback, and Justin Fields is going to be taken highly, but I'm not really sold on Fields because in the pocket, he does not have a lot of adversity in the pocket. His reads are very easy. He doesn't dominate the middle of the field. The windows are really large windows, and it's a huge risk taking a chance on Fields, whereas Trey Lance is more mobile than Fields, has a bigger arm. Kyle Trask can throw in the tighter windows, and then Zach Wilson is a lot faster than Justin Fields is actually. When you watch Zach Wilson play, he moves outside of the pocket more than Justin, and with the way Shanahan loves to run his offense off of play action, Wilson is the perfect fit, and you will be able to get Wilson without likely giving up like any sort of picks. You just have to beat the Bears for Zach Wilson, and Wilson is going to probably be the quarterback. And if the Niners get Wilson, you guys should be very happy about it. I'm sad for Jimmy Garoppolo because of that injury. This year with COVID, there's no fans. This hasn't been a normal NFL season. It's really hurt Garoppolo. That Super Bowl, he's going to look back at that, and just like Matt Ryan at the end of their careers, if Matt Ryan won that Super Bowl, if Kaepernick or Jimmy Garoppolo won the Super Bowl game, you look at guys differently that are able to get it done. Even Matt Hasselbeck, when he got to the Super Bowl, you would look at guys in a different light if they're able to win that game. And if Jimmy was able to hit Emmanuel Sanders, we would look at Jimmy differently because that would be one of the great throws in NFL history. And like Eli Manning was able to play and be healthy, and Eli had a big arm, and Garoppolo's arm strength is not that good, so he has to rely on his health, his mobility, his accuracy. And you look at a guy like Drew Lock, or you look at other guys around the league that are still uber-talented quarterbacks, like even Cam Newton, but Cam Newton's arm is not that good anymore. But you look at some guys around the league like Stafford, and if Stafford gets hurt, Stafford still has a huge arm. It's not going to change that much. But for Garoppolo, a lot of stuff that he does with Kyle is movement. And the fact that he's getting injured so much, he's just not looking like the same guy. And maybe Jimmy G can come back, put on an audition, but I think it's safer to go with Wilson. He's cheaper. He's faster. You have George Kittle is primarily the guy. Garoppolo is about at 70%, and they still made a run. You have Richard Sherman and an aging team, so you kind of want to go with a young face in Wilson. It's better for Jimmy's career if he could probably move past Shanahan. The fan base doesn't really like him anymore from a personality standpoint. Jimmy G he's going to have to be lights out and healthy. And I think that with all these injuries, the ankle and the ACL, it's going to take him like 2 years to get back. And then you start looking at the contracts. You start looking at Jimmy, coming into the league at 22. He's going to be 30 years old. And unfortunately, the guy probably has a couple more years left. And it's really sad making this video because I'm a huge Garopollo fan. But I will be lying to you if Zach Wilson is not better than Jimmy Garoppolo, because Garoppolo he never plays. It's just injuries, and I'd love to see the guy play. But it's all injuries, and I want to see Shanahan let Jimmy G play a little bit more. I want to see some deeper throws and really find out, can Jimmy G load up and can he make the big next-level throws? Can he really push the ball down the field and create an explosive offensive attack? I believe Wilson is a good quarterback, and I believe that that's a safer route to go. You get a healthier guy. You get a younger, faster player at the position. It's emotional because Garoppolo was kind of the first guy that I started to cover on YouTube, and I'm rooting for Jimmy G, and I believe he has that clutch gene. I believe that he's accurate. I believe that he's brought the Niners back to prominence. I mean, Jimmy G, last season, really giving them stability, almost leading them to a Super Bowl, and even this year having a couple of really decent games. It hasn't been consistent. It's been injury-riddled, and last year was a great year, and the first 5 games were magic. The first 5 games before the ACL, Garoppolo was really special. And I think the guy is a decent quarterback in this league. I truly do. I think he can be good. I think he's a winner. And we're going to have to see where he goes after this. But right now I'm leaning Wilson for sure. Jimmy G needs to go out there and play a little bit at the end of this year. The Niners are not going to tell you that they're enamored with Wilson. But just like Steve Young being a Mormon going to BYU, I think that the Niners are probably going to move on, and it's probably the right decision. So leave your thoughts. Thanks.